Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
You are most welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates, like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. There was a fierce or a hot fight on TV3 today, which I want you to join me listening to what transpired, what happened, or what causes the fight between Mohammed, an MP for Amiens, and Awal, the MPP communication team member of the MPP.
Let me say good morning to you. Let me say good morning to my colleague and also your cherished viewers. The issue of galamsey or illegal mining is something that we have described as a threat to our very existence, and so I would resist the temptation to engage in some politics of the NDC and the MPP. No, that's not what I will do this morning. This is a matter that affects all of us. It doesn't matter your political coloration. What we are talking about this morning is about the refusal of a government to yield to the demands of labor relative to fighting galamsey. It has got nothing to do with the NDC and the MPP. In fact, the NDC is not in power today, and that President Mahama of the NDC has no any authority to fight a galamsey. The fact still remains that, look, today as we speak, we are dealing with a matter that can wipe all of us away in a very short time. We are talking about a situation where they give birth to babies in these galamsey areas with very serious defects, deformities. In fact, we are told this morning I listened to a medical doctor who operates within that area from a galamsey area.
The enclave.
Yes, the enclave, who talks about they have seen situations where they give birth to children with their eyes on their forehead, multiple limbs, without orifices. These are issues that we must be complaining about. We are talking about a situation where about 13 of our major rivers are compromised completely. We are talking about a situation where 8 out of every kidney-related disease comes from these galamsey enclaves. And so this is not a matter for us to engage in the NDC and the MPP politics with. Today, it is a matter for labor. And the trade union or any of the labor organizations in this country is not an extension of the NDC. They have made specific demands on government. They say, one, declare a state of emergency, revoke LI 2462, and also ramp up efforts to deal with issues of illegal mining, especially around our water bodies and also our forest reserves. How difficult is this to do? Did President Akufo-Addo and the MPP promise to come and destroy our forest reserves? Did they promise to come and compromise our water bodies? Today, the Ghana Water Company is indicating that if nothing is done about our current plight, very soon we would be importing water into this country. I don't know how many people in this country can afford to get safe drinking water if we were to import it. We just listened to a clip that you just played, where the lady is talking about using sachet water to wash their clothing. It means we are itching towards a situation where we need to import water into this country. How many Ghanaians can afford that? When we talk about the issue of renal-related diseases, do you know the burden, the financial burden on individuals and homes and families? You have no idea, my brother. And so where from this NDC hypocrisy, we are saying that, look, President Mahama didn't govern this country with angels. Yes, there were some semblance of irresponsible mining, but it was not, look, as recent as November 2022, the NTU of most of our rivers, especially within the Western Enclave, was barely around 1,006. Today we are talking about 14 to 16,000 NTU. Okay. When they recommended NTU for processing water is around 50 NT.
In relation to the Tebi detail.
Exactly. These are the issues that we are talking about. We are not talking about the NDC and the NPP. The call by labor, civil society organizations, the clergy is that President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia must take clear actions to deal with the issue of Galamsey. They are unable to do so because they are beneficiaries of illegal mining. Why? We've listened to very prominent members of the NPP. Dr. Afriye, a sitting member of parliament, indicate that they will not do what we want them to do. We've listened to him. We've listened to the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Duka, indicate that they will not stop Galamsey now. Because for them, if they do, they are going to lose elections. And they give the example of how they lost some seats along the mining areas in the last elections. When indeed, you lost those seats because you seized their concessions and gave them to your party bigwigs. You banned their excavators. And that got them angry to vote against you. It's not about fighting Galamsey. No, it has got nothing to do with fighting Galamsey. What I'm saying is that President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and for that matter the NPP, will not and cannot fight Galamsey because they are deeply engaged in it. Why? DCs are engaged in it. Ministers are engaged in it. MPs are engaged in it. People at the Flagstaff House, go and read the report by the former Minister for Science and Environment, Professor Ephraim Eboati, where he talked about national executives, regional executives, constituency executives, officials at the Flagstaff House, deeply engaged in Galamsey. Didn't we hear from him how Gabi Ochidaku called him to intervene on behalf of somebody who was going through some trial? And so I don't think these guys can stop Galamsey. The only way, you are just left with some 2 months to leave office. And you want to, they are telling Labour to give them time. What time? When you have only 2 months to leave office, the only way we can deal with Galamsey decisively is to vote out this MPP regime. That's the only way.
Mr. Safon Kantaka, at the end of the day, Labour is making certain demands, and we all know the key demands, so to speak.
And government position will not change. And I will just spew some outright lies that I will need to react to. When you talked about government banning all forms of mining in 2018, that's not true.
2017. That is not true.
That is outright.
There was a moratorium that was placed.
So that was not a ban. I'll come to that. Now, when you talk about a ban, there's never been a ban on all forms of mining in this country, unless you can provide us with the evidence that. No, please, it's not about the host. You make that statement. So give us the evidence that there was a ban on all forms of mining.
No, you are giggling. You are doing. Now, you said the host. Please,
it's okay.
Please. And when all of them gave you that.
And you talk about Kweku Boahin and Dr. Tony Iban making some promises of we encouraging Galamsey and irresponsible mining. That is not true. Look, if you have the video, you can play it. You guys have constantly referred to that video where they were promising promising the young men around the Galamsey enclaves that if the NDC comes into power, we're going to make sure that they engage in responsible mining. Who in his right senses will go and meet youth and tell them they won't win power, will let you do irresponsible mining? That's not true. You guys have peddled that falsehood for a very long time. And look, you also talked about Operation Vanguard, Galamstop. At the end of the day, what is the result from Operation Vanguard, Roland? We're in this country. That interministerial committee on illegal mining was chaired by the Minister for Environment, Science and Technology then, Professor Ephraim Eboati, two of us. What is the man's verdict on your fight against Galamsey? We have seen the secretary to that so-called interministerial committee on illegal mining receiving bribe on television from Galamseyers. We saw that video. We've seen it. We've seen how Professor Ephraim Eboati indicated that your party officials, right from national office to regional to constituency, were engaged in Galamsey. The same professor told us how they were mining even around the residence of President Akufo-Addo in Chebi. This is a man that we appointed as a minister and made him the chairman of the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. Why? Your Ashanti regional chairman was engaged in an illegal mining in a forest reserve. Your minister came to confirm, Abu Jinapo came to confirm that. When somebody is engaged in an illegality, what do? You prosecute him. Have you done that? So you guys are beneficiaries of Galamsey. We have heard Duka, Emiriku Duka, a deputy minister, insist that you will not ban Galamsey today. Yes. You won't do it today, you won't do it tomorrow. We have seen Afriye, a sitting member of parliament, and the coordinator of the Baumia campaigns in the Middle Belt, yes, say you guys will not ban Galamsey. And so what are you talking about? You guys are beneficiaries of Galamsey. There's no way you can fight it. And look, what are you talking about? Awal. You guys are beneficiaries of Galamsey. You cannot stop it. All that was, look, and when you talk about amnesty, you see, you can, I don't blame you. Even the word review in the dictionary of the NPP means a cancel. So when you say that President Mahama says he will grant amnesty to people who are engaged in Galamsey, I don't blame you.
Why did he say that? President
Mahama said clearly that, look, you don't go around imprisoning those small boys who are engaged in the real activity when the real kingpins would be free. And so let's grant them amnesty and let's target the big wigs, those who own the concessions. How many of those boys can buy those heavy moving machines? They can't afford them. So somebody is obviously behind them. And these are your ministers, your MCs, and your appointees at the Flagstaff House. So President Mahama said that, look, these boys are innocent. Perhaps they just want some deliberate.
And the court.
Listen to me. So somebody would have engaged them to do those activities. So let's grant them amnesty and let's go after the big fishes. That's all that President Mahama says. So if you don't understand, please don't go there. Okay. And you are talking about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Why? He's been part of this regime. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been part of this regime.
What he said was that when he wins
years.
the power, that's what he's.
The man is in power already. Whose power again? He's a vice president. He's not just some constituency executive. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been a vice president for almost 8 years. He's the chairman of the police council. In fact, there has been instances where he chaired cabinet. And so the man has lost credibility. So for him to say that when he wins power, he do ABCD, the man is already in power. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So all that I'm saying is that these guys cannot fight Galamsey because they are the ultimate beneficiaries of Galamsey in this country. Okay. Why? We are talking about a situation where about eight out of all the renal cases in this country comes from these Galamsey areas. Do you know how much it costs to go and do a dialysis at Kolebu in a week?
Which report suggests that?
Oh, I mean, you have
the lies.
Our Ghana Medical Association. Ghana Medical Association have indicated that 8 out of every 10 kidney-related diseases comes from these Galamsey areas. This is what we are talking about. You go to Kolebu, dialysis, almost 600 Ghana cedis per session. If a patient needs to do that 3 times in a week, how many Ghanaians can afford that money? When you people are sick, you are able to fly yourself outside to go and treat yourself. Ghanaians are suffering because of your greed.
Okay, let me speak to haphazardly. So that's what he insists.
So you understand it better than Honorable Aziz, who is representing NDC here?
No, please.
That's okay.
So what he says is that
he'll give them amnesty.
For whoever,
that's what I want.
No, please. Please. So what he does insist is that those who are doing the mining that we find in the forest reserves and etc. are not those who tend to do the sponsorship, those who are funding it. And so if we want to do the jailing, we have to prosecute everybody holistically. Otherwise, then you are doing it haphazardly. Please go on.
You understand it better than
whatever you want to call. No, please, it's okay. Please make your point.
What I understand with the amnesty is that the court of competent jurisdiction jailed some people for destroying our water bodies. Former President Mahama has said it twice that he will give them amnesty to come back. The listeners will judge whether I've lied or not. Two is that he says, Prepom Boateng said that from the national executive right to the last person. Yes, in the party. Is engaged in Galamsey. You said, national executive.
Were you sleeping? Were you sleeping when I was speaking? Were you sleeping?
No, please, it's okay.
You quoted from Prepom Boateng. Prepom Boateng's report, the report that you quoted from, is saying that The NDC is engaged in more illegal mining than the MPP. And this was further corroborated by the Minerals Commission when they said that 1,402 licenses were given.
Irresponsible government.
So you allow him do this, and tomorrow if I come here, you tell me that I am interjecting.
Stop interjecting. Otherwise, when you are speaking and he's interjecting, you...
Go ahead.
The Frimpong Boatin report that you quoted, he is saying that those who do galamsey are the NDC. It is in the report. And this is further corroborated by Minerals Commission that said that when former President Mahama was even removed from government, in 2016, he issued 361 licenses to the people. Again, we will not ban legal mining in this country. I share the views of Miracle Duka. He's in charge of, he's our spokesperson on minerals.
On minerals.
Yes. We will not ban legal mining in this country. On mining. Yes.
Okay.
We will not ban legal.
I think there's even a video to that effect.
We will not ban legal mining. And what my MP, Friye, said is also true, that we will not, someone who has gone.
So within that period, what will be done?
I'm telling you that. I'm coming. Someone who has gone for loan, has sunk a shaft, is doing underground mining, which has nothing to do with destroying our water bodies, will not prevent that person from mining. That will not be done. And again, no government, no sane government in the history of this world, anywhere in the world, will declare state of emergency 2 months to elections. Dr. Bawumia has been.
So you're not heeding to organize labor's call because we have an election.
So I'm asking Angel Kabonu, if in a school you have 3 teachers out of 20 impregnate students, you shut down the school. Do you just shut down the school? He's a teacher. I was a trained teacher. If you go to a senior high school, and in the senior high school,
how are the two situations you are painting coterminous?
Yes, what they are telling us is that because some few people are destroying our water bodies, those who are doing legal mining should be prevented from doing legal mining.
Have you seen the pictures of the water bodies?
Yes, I've seen it.
And the effects that it has on public health?
I've seen it.
It's normal.
Did I say it's normal?
But that's what you're saying. I
am telling you that the strike is not the solution to the problem, because, as I said, I gave a scenario of a classroom. If in a classroom, in a school, which has about 20 teachers, you have 3 of them impregnate students, do you shut down the school? He is a manager of a school. Do you shut down the school?
The two situations are not the same.
It's the same.
How does pregnancy affect the health?
It's the same.
The health of the school population.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. Maybe.
You think the two are coterminous?
Yes. So there is this line.
So what will be the action taken in the next 2 months as part of the solution, since the position is not changing?
There's this lie being peddled, and the woman, the woman you called, I don't know her name. That's why I said the woman you called, said that there are metals in our bodies and so on. Let me just quote from Ghana Water Company. Ghana Water Company said it is not true that the water running through our taps from the Ghana Water Company is filled with heavy metals, as chlorine and alum treatment does not deal with heavy metals. The Ghana Water Company uses not just alum and chlorine, but also activated carbon, aluminum sulfate, polyelectrolyte, and other substances to ensure that our water bodies are safe for human consumption. All of the heavy metals allegedly in our water bodies, including cyanide and arsen, only mercury can be traced to gold production. Even the mercury, it is insoluble and can only be found in sediments. So it is not true that any water that we're drinking in this country, there are heavy metals in the water and so on. This is Ghana water. They have come with it. What this government is doing in the next 2 months is that there is an interministerial committee that has been set up. That interministerial committee is headed by the Minister for National Security. They have outlined what they will be able to do in the next 2 months for Dr. Bawumia to take over, to continue what he has enumerated in his manifesto. One is that they will make sure that all the water bodies are being protected by the military. This is something that they will be deployed within a day or 2 to go and protect all our water bodies. Again, mining in river bodies are illegal in this country. They are illegal, and they will make sure.
Are they illegal?
They are illegal.
Then why
no one will be given the concession to mine in the water, in the river body. It is not given. So this is what this government is doing. He is saying that Dr. Bawumia has been in government for the last 7 years.
Now,
if you had listened, if you did listen to me, let me end. If you did listen to me, I said that he and his boss has started something from 2017. Are you giving me an opportunity to come so that I also come?
As a preface to the question, we had a whole forum that was organized just over the last 5 days, or just 5 days ago. It does indicate, with the latest information, Dr. Juliet Ohimentiamwa, US-based environmental engineer, saying that even them in the diaspora feel the consequences of illegal mining in Ghana. And she also revealed that exported food items, including yams, etc., coming from the farming communities where we have illegal mining emerging, shows existence of heavy metals that are used in Galamsey and other illegal mining, not only being found in their homes, but also in Accra, among others, and areas in the Western, Eastern, and Ashanti region. And so insist that nobody is immune. And this one was
Roland, you will help your listeners by reading the entire story, because there is no report to that effect. What she said is that she spoke to someone. The same woman said that she spoke to someone at Standard Authority.
Now listen.
He should read the entire story.
Please take his mic off. Take his mic off. Now, so now that we have a position that government is not shifting away from, which is at variance with what the position for which the strike action will take place for Labour tomorrow. What should be the consequential actions being taken, especially by Labour and other civil society actors?
Roland. And even before I come to that, I'm sure our viewers have just seen the way Awal lied this morning about President Mahama and how he talked about who to grant amnesty and who not to grant amnesty.
Explain that.
And now we are talking about more NDC. According to Frimpong Boateng, there are more NDC people engaged in illegal mining than MPP. It only speaks to how irresponsible and useless your government have been. If you think that NDC members are engaged in Galamsey, go and arrest them and prosecute them. You are only confirming how useless you have been as a government. Because you have the mandate you were elected for to govern this country for 8 years. You are still in power, and you want to say that NDC people are engaged in Galamsey more than MPP. This game should not be reduced to MPP and NDC. You are killing people in this country. Your actions and inactions are leading people to their graves. That is what we are talking about, Awal. Now, you talk about 600 licenses that were granted under President Mahama. That is 600. You said 600.
I said 2016, 361.
Awal, it's not true. For the entire period of President Mahama and President Mills, about 57 licenses were granted.
Stop the lies. Yes,
listen to me. Ignore that. Ask for that man. Ignore him. Ask for that man. Ignore him.
The chief executive.
Ask for that man.
No, please. Let me say this. The chief executive for the Minerals Commission appeared before Parliament Governance and Assurance Committee. You're a former member of Parliament, so you know that. And of course, it's chaired by Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa, and he put a figure which is at variance to what exists on the main portal, the repository.
He's a glib talker.
Okay, and then as always, the website of the Minerals Commission. So we go with the Minerals Commission figures on their site and repository, and then also add that to what the chief executive also says. Yes.
The honourable member, Honourable Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, has led the revelation and has made reference to the Ghana Mining Repository, which is a state-owned website, which indicates that between 2017 up to date, about 1,507 licenses have been granted. The highest in the history of this country. If for the entire period of President Mills, President Mahama, only 57 were granted, you have granted about 1,507. That is on record. That gentleman is a public servant who is aiding the political class to encourage a Galamsey. Now, Awal, look, we were in this country when the president said that he had put his presidency on the line. The line that he put on, the presidency that he put on line never existed. If you said you've put your presidency on the line, today it is very clear to everybody except you in the MPP and your allies that Galamsey is worsening, our water bodies are more polluted than they were when he put his presence on the line. And so President Akufo-Addo has failed. I am saying that the only way, Roland, the TUC and other labor unions have made very specific.
So in the next 2 months, what should we do?
They are saying that
because that's the position of government.
Roland, declare a state of emergency, right? You just said that it's not possible to declare a state of emergency some 2 months for an election. Awal, you may have forgotten. In 2004, the people of Dagbon were under a state of emergency. In 2004, throughout the election period. So nothing prevents you. You have made your case very clear that if you stop Galamsey or if you take those actions, you are going to lose the elections. Whether you do or not, you are on your way out. So you better do what is right. Look, trust me, it won't take you more than an hour to issue a letter imposing a state of emergency in those areas. Nothing would prevent you from that. Why? LI 2462. Awal, let your minister walk back to parliament and revoke that LI. So the man says it will be done.
Yes.
TUC, other labor unions, the man says it will be done. Your MP says so. A communicator for the party on national television says that they won't ban Galamsey. So they don't care whether Ghanaians die or not. These guys are in to make money. They are in to make money. Their concern is the next
Step into the world of Dewa 539 for your chance to win big with Dewa Direct and Dewa Chop Money. Now with Dewa Direct, *446# is a short code for you. So you make sure you pick the range of the numbers 1 to 39 and win big 20 times, 40 times, 400 times your stake. And win every cash that you can every evening at 7 p.m. when the draw is made, and on Sundays at 6 p.m. Now, early bets also love Dewa Chop Money. And at 10 a.m., dial *446#. You choose the range of the numbers again 1 to 39 and win big 20 times, 40 times, or 400 times your stake. And then, just in case you love it electronically, you can use your app or through your browser, go to dewa-nla.com and then get the latest draws by way of the stakes that you can undertake so far. And then Mohammed Abdulaziz, former Member of Parliament from you, thank you for passing by. Michael Safo Kantanka, thank you as well. Awal Mohammed, thank you for passing through this morning. You can always share the stream, and we have an upload.
There was a serious or hot fight on TV3 Morning Show today between the NDC and the MPP, when the MPP communication team member Awal was trying to lie that there was a ban on Galamsey during 2017, which Mohammed, former MP for Amiens, also said is a lie and nothing like that happened. So he should stop lying. And it was a serious argument, a serious exchange, where Mohammed asked whether he was sleeping when he was talking or making his statements. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what he said into detail. But before we go, I would like you to know that they still remain PENDREAM TV. The channel still remain PENDREAM TV, the only authentic source of your political news and gist. Please do subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Share to other members, turn the notification to all posts so that you'll be the first to receive any update that will be loaded onto the channel. Thank you. Your comments are most welcome as well. Do leave a comment at the comment section if you have any, or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277 128 777. Thank you. Join me listening to what we have for you today.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, I PENDREAM TV.